Hi, I'm Rob Johnstone from Woodworker's Journal, and today I'm going to demonstrate one of my tricks that just might help you get the most out of your planer. These planers are a proven workhorse in small shops across the country. Why? Because they work so well. I would venture to guess that there are more of these DeWalt planers in small shops across the country than any brand. Surfacing rough lumber is a task that is much harder without a planer. And as you can often buy rough hardwood lumber more cheaply than surfaced lumber, that makes a planer a practical tool to own for many of us. This benchtop planer has a motor that spins at 20,000 RPM, which drives the three-bladed cutter head at 10,000 RPM. Though powerful, the universal motor can be powered by a standard household current. Maximum cut depth is called out at 1/8 of an inch, but I almost never make a cut that deep. The thickest piece of lumber the machine can handle is 6 inches deep, and the 13-inch wide cutters are as wide as you can go. It's called a benchtop or portable planer, but at 92 pounds, you decide. This machine has many other interesting features, but the one I want to point out here is the two different feed rates. While the cutter head stays spinning at 10,000 RPM, the feed rate changes the cuts per lineal inch. On the slower speed, the knives make 179 cuts per inch. The faster, 96. The more cuts per inch, the smoother the finished piece. So I promise you a trick to help make your woodworking easier. So here it is. Now, back in my family's woodworking shop, we would buy our face frame lumber in 4/4 rough stock with one edge straight line cut. Then we would surface the whole lot to 13/16 or 23/32 of an inch thick and put it on the rack. When we built our cabinets, we would start by pulling out some stock and then ripping it to width for the face frames. Then we would go to the planer and machine it down to exactly 3/4 of an inch. Now I can almost hear you asking, why not finish it to 3/4 of an inch the first time? The answer is the hygroscopic nature of wood. In other words, wood movement. So if we had planed a whole bunch of lumber in the dry air of winter, and then we pulled it out to use it in spring or summer, it could swell. And it could swell enough to make it a pain to use, because not every board expands at the same rate. But if you plane them, you are golden. So here is my very last trick for you today. When you are ripping your stock, sometimes edges get burned or are otherwise blemished. I like to put the pieces through the planer on their edges, grouped like so. Now you have super clean edges and their width is identical too. I hope you found today's video interesting, and maybe these tips will help you out in your shop sometime. I'm Rob Johnstone from Woodworker's Journal. Keep on making sawdust.